far. Uh, the match that I'm going to try and focus on is the match between France and Netherlands. Um, as you can see, the score is currently 1-all, and the match in the men's doubles between Roland Labarre and Julien Maillot against Ruben Gille and Ties van der Leck is uh, actually a deep break in the first game. There's one other match playing at the same time, and that is the match between England and Russia. Russia already certain of winning that match, as they've taken a 3-0 lead, and the first 6 games all went to Russia. The English team, a very, very young team. I had them pretty much as the favorites, not the young team, but the ordinary team with the English stars, more or less favorites for this year's tournament in Vanta. They should have played on home soil in Milton Keynes, but that was not possible due to the coronavirus situation. So it was a tough task for some of the English players: Marcus Ellis, Lawrence Smith, Chris Langridge, Ben Lane, Sean Wendy, Toby Penty, Chloe Birch, all players that are in the race for the Olympics, and they would have to quarantine coming back from this championship. Lawrence Smith told us on her social media that a 5-day quarantine would be mandatory for the English team upon returning from Finland. So the Olympic-bound players, they decided that they were going to pass this European Mixed Team Championship, and that, as you can see, gave the opportunity to some of the younger players. Estelle van Leuven, who played the women's singles, just 16 years of age, and a very, very young team overall. But let's return back to the match that I think is the most interesting here. In that match, it was a very, very important first men's singles. Toma Popov up against Mark Kaljo. The team tie could really be a nail biter, and these two teams also met 2 years ago in Copenhagen when the championship was held there, and Mark Kaljo also won that encounter, and the Netherlands went on to win 4-1 against France. France has actually never won a medal at the mixed team championship, and thanks to Yinglan Zheng for notifying me that there was no sound. I hope that it should be all right now. That was the second message there, so thank you very much for that. But as I said, France never taking a medal at the mixed team championships. They have a strong team this year. The talent players from their successful junior campaign, where they won the European Junior Team Championship, is about to mature, and they could dream of at least a medal. But they're in a tough group, in a group with Russia and England, and I can't even think how tough that group would have been had England played with all their top stars. And the match with Kaljo and Toma Junior Popov, it really was a nail biter. 70 minutes, and Mark Kaljo, he got off to a really, really good start. He'd lost their last encounter in the final of the Salo Lux Open back in early November, where they also went the full distance. These two players, they're a really, really good matchup in my opinion. but he started really well, got off to a big lead in the first game, whilst Popov fought his way back into the match and he easily took the second game 21-6. Wait, that's well played here by Thijs van der Lek, and Ruben Gille equals the score at 15-all. So in the third game, the players went more or less neck to neck, and I watched that match back from the final in Saarlouis Open, where Popov, he was really tired. He was also really, really tired here. And the difference was that Markatia was much more proactive in this match, and from 16-all, just after Popov got a lucky net court, then Markatia was the aggressive player on court, and really showed that he's developing his front court game. So a really, really important win for Markatia, but also the other way around, a heartbreaking loss for France, who's really under pressure now, because as we saw earlier on, Russia already beat England in the group stage, and both these teams could be challenged when they're facing Russia. So 16-all here in the first game in men's doubles between Roland Labarre and Julien Mayo on the French side, and Ruben Gille and Thijs van der Lek from the Netherlands. If you've chosen to listen in here, I hope that you've got another device streaming from badmintoneurope.tv, where they stream all the matches from this European Mixed Team Championship. Really, really good service. So 17-16. Oi. Very, very clever serve from was it Julien Maillot? Serve towards the sideline from the uneven field, and it was a perfect ace. Ruben Gille initially thought that it was called out. That was not the case, so 2 points lead for France. 3 points lead now, as Thijs van der Lek misses an opportunity on the top of the tape. Very, very important for France, as the next two doubles, the last remaining doubles with Lefel and Tron against Gille and Seine, and Tabeling Peak against Gikel and Del Rey, they are very even as well, in my opinion. That's good pressure from Roland Labarre, who's he's mostly known as a mixed doubles player, but has done well in men's doubles as well. And interesting pairing they've come up with here. France only played 4 matches together. That was back in 2016 at the European Men's Team Championship. 1, 2, and lost 2. And then netted service return from Thijs van der Lek, and that means that first game goes to Roland Labarre and Julien Maillot, 21-17. fairly convincing win for Xi Yufei in the women's singles against Jamie Lawrence, but only 17 years of age, so definitely got a future ahead of her. It's interesting that Netherlands have chosen to play Deborah Gille and Cheryl Zane instead of Selena Peak and Cheryl Zane, because Peak and Zane won the European Games back in 2019 in women's doubles, but I guess that playing Peak in two categories was a bit too much from the beginning of the championships here. So the second game is underway, and Maillot and Labar attacking. Very good rally here, the first one. Excellent aggressive play from the French combination. So let's look at some of the other teams in Group 2. We saw the team from the Netherlands, the French team, actually without Brice Levadès. He couldn't make it due to a knee injury, and I don't know whether he would have played against Marc Calcio. I'm not totally certain of that, but the two Popov brothers, and of course the strong mix, Fabienne Delray and Tom Gikel. Fabienne Delray is not a mixed doubles. Yeah, he is a mixed doubles player, but he's not a female mixed doubles player. That's his sister Delphine. A very, very strong team, in my opinion. The French, good in all categories, but perhaps with the only star player is the mixed doubles with Tom Gikel and Tran. So 3-1 for France here in the second game. Important for Van der Lech and Gille not to fall too far behind. This time a good action from Ruben Gille at the net. I think it's really, really important that he can sort of take control of the front court against Lavar and Maillot. Otherwise, I think the attack from Maillot and Lavar and the pressure on Thijs van der Lek could become too much here. It's a very good action from the young Dutchman. Van der Lek only 20 years of age, whilst Gille is 24. Ranked 66th in the world right now. Another good action from Thijs van der Lek, who goes for the chance on the front court, and it's an interesting combination, Gille and van der Lek, because they're both very keen to challenge on the front court, and I think that could be a very, very good plan coming forward. We've seen that men's doubles, where there's too much responsibility on one player to score the points, they have difficulties in making it on the top level. So 4-all here, and let's look at the two other teams in in Group 2. The English team here. A bit of unfamiliar names. Some of them I have noticed throughout their junior career, but there's also a couple of players that I haven't really paid enough attention to. Jess Pugh in the women's double, the mixed doubles department, previously paired with Ben Lane, who's now successful in men's doubles with Sean Wendy, who reached the semi-final at the World Tour Finals, but not here in Vantaa in Finland. Also Harry Huang and Rory Easton, very successful as junior players, but mostly a learning experience for these English players, in my opinion, and I hope they have a good experience in Finland. It's always a tough call whether it's a chance or a burden. If you're not really capable of challenging your opponents, then it can easily become a burden. At first it's fun, but then suddenly it's actually not that fun anymore. But if you can play well and play some good rallies and get some experience, then it's valuable experience to take home and continue the practice, hopefully, and soon get out to play some tournaments. So the last team in Group 2 is Russia. Russia with also an extremely strong team, very well balanced. Malkov in the men's singles, Kosetskaya, who also reached the World Tour final stage amongst the 8 qualifying for the finals. Men's doubles, the former England champions Sosunov, Ivanov. Women's doubles, they are without Yekaterina Bolotova. She's pregnant, so their top women's doubles at the moment, instead of Bolotova and Davletova, is probably Akhtarina and Morozova, Olga Morozova, whom I've forgotten on this sheet here, but she's actually also in Vantaa in Finland. Mixed doubles, very talented mixed doubles player Rodion Alimov together with Alina Davletova. I think Alimov sometimes looks like he needs to get a little bit fitter to challenge at the very highest level. So in the meantime, Labar and Maillot, they've gone up 10-6 in the men's double here. I think that's a match where the Netherlands had hopes of winning it. They won the last time they played. In the team compositions, and Gille and Van der Leck have previously beaten the Popper brothers, Christo and Toma, in men's doubles, but here they look a little bit disheartened, and they've got their work cut out for them as they head to the interval down 11-6 and also one game down. So ready for the last part of the second game here, and it's a must-win for Van der Leck and Gille, and Labar starts with a service that's fallen short. So important for the Dutch pair to score some points if they want to get back into this match. That's excellent play by Julien Maillot. Very, very good service return. Misunderstanding between first Gille and Van der Leck, and then afterwards between Labar and Maillot. They were a little bit unlucky not to win this one, the French players. So the tournament should have been held in Milton Keynes, but as I said, not possible due to the coronavirus, and that also raises the question whether the All England will go ahead in a month's time from now. So far, it's on, but of course, everybody's a little bit concerned now that the German Open had been called off. Easy mistake here from Ruben Gille. 13-8, and things going according to plan for Labar and Maillot. One of the things that perhaps fueled the idea of playing these two together could have been the withdrawal of Brice Livadès. It wasn't possible to play Brice in the singles and the two Popov brothers in men's doubles. If they should have played, then one of them probably would have done double duty, but extremely strong play by Julien Maillot, who really challenges at the net, moves forward whenever there's a chance, and he's really he's dominated this match so far. Brilliant play. Maillot and Labar, they really have no world ranking. They stand as ranked number 1,348, but must be on notional ranking or something. Clever play from Labar, who puts it below the tape from the backcourt, waits for the right opportunity, the tall Frenchman. And now it's 15-8. And if the body language is anything to go by, then I would doubt that the pair from Netherlands is coming back. $16-8. And talking about England and the young team and the ability to get some good experiences, I can tell you that in the women's doubles, Annie Lado and Jenny Moore, they've taken the first game against Akharina and Morozova, and it's all square here in the second game. Definitely not Ruben Gille's day today. They've really stamped their mark on the Dutch, Labar and Maillot, and Gille is taking some of the chances that he should on the net, but he's just very, very unsuccessful so far. Missed opportunity by Van der Leck. This looks really, really good for Labar and Maillot. Can put their country up 2-1 in the team tie here. Excellent flat game from Maillot. They've been totally dominant in this match, the French combination. Lots of pairs and players, of course, looking for Olympic qualification points, but there's no Olympic qualification points awarded in this tournament here. First time they're at stake again is in the Swiss Open in the beginning of March. Nice play by Thies van der Leek there, but I fear it's too little too late. 11-19 down here in the second game. So I guess that Emilie de Velden and Antran, Deborah Gila and Cheryl Zane, they're standing by in the corridors in the arena in Vanta now. 8 match point opportunities for Labar and Julien Maillot. 20-13 here in the second game, and the Dutch pair survived the first 2 of them. Actually started out with 9 game points, match points. There it is. Oh, good save by Robin Gille, but it goes long, and Labar and Maillot puts France up 2-1 after a fantastic effort in this men's doubles, where I must admit I had Gille and van der Leek as small favorites ahead of the match, but they were totally outplayed by Labar and Maillot, and what a fantastic effort that was for France. So 2-1 up in the overall team tie, and we're waiting for the match between Lefel and Tran and Gille and Zane to commence in Vanta in Finland. So while we wait for them to take court, we can take a look at the teams from Group 1. We have the defending champions, Denmark. Didn't have to qualify as defending champions. Denmark in the strongest lineup, except perhaps for Sarah Thyssen, who is, she was selected for the team, but she hasn't traveled to Vanta. She has not really started practicing too much yet after she got hit by a shuttle in the eye in Thailand Open, the second of the tournaments, Toyota Thailand Open against a Korean pair. So she was hospitalized in Thailand and eventually flew home a week later or so, but she hasn't started practicing yet. Apart from that, a team as strong as you can have it. Noticeable perhaps that Line Kristoffersen, the World Junior silver medalist, is selected as backup player for Mia Blichfeldt instead of Line Kjærsfeldt. I guess the reasoning behind it is that I would expect Mia Blichfeldt to play all the important matches, and in that way it's better to give Line Kristoffersen some experience than to have Line Kjærsfeldt sitting on the bench for the whole tournament. Men's singles, 2 finalists from World Tour Finals, Victor Axelsen and Anders Antonsen, and that should be a pretty safe card for Denmark, and that means that the other nations will have to find 3 out of 4 matches more or less. That could be done. I still think that England had the best possibility of threatening Denmark through to their 3 strong doubles, especially since Sarah Thyssen is not here. Then then the responsibility probably lies with Malon and Ravn. There's a question from Andy Stewart here. Asked, are you surprised to see how strong the Denmark team is here? And I am a little surprised. They could perhaps have gone for Gemke as the backup men's single. But on the other hand, I mean, it's really important for Denmark to get a gold medal here in Finland. There's a lot of support, financial support, hanging on medals, and the European medals are easier to get than the World Championships medals. And I just think the Danes are really, really motivated to win this, and they also know that they haven't played that well in the doubles categories. I think Mathias Christiansen and Alexander Boye in the mixed doubles, they showed progress in Thailand in January. Kim Astrup and Anders Rasmussen, well, they lost 2 first-round matches. They felt they played okay, but it's really difficult to say much from that performance. I mean, we don't really know, because they lost to players that at that time were better than them. I still think it's a little bit disappointing to lose to the Indonesian junior world champions Kanando and Martin, but no doubt they're a good pair. But the form is still a question mark in my opinion, and it's going to be interesting to see them against Ivanov and Sosunov and Seidel and Lamsfus, so that we can get a better view of where they stand. Also in the women's doubles, of course, it's a possibility of pairing Maiken Fruergaard with Amalie Malon, so you get one front court player, one back court player there. So they have some possibilities in the lineup, the Danes. But yeah, even though the doubles seem a little bit weaker, they must be the favorites now that England's are sending their young players to this tournament. The second best team, in my opinion, in Group 1 is Germany. Linda Effler is out with an Achilles injury, and Stine Kuspert is selected in her place. Won the silver in 2019, lost the final to Denmark. Here as Lefel and Tran are on court warming up by the side of Cheryl Sane and Deborah Gillett. Good to see Fabian Roth back in the German national team after a long injury period. Mark Lamsfus is going to be a key player, in my opinion, for Germany in this campaign here. He's the best mixed double with Isabel Hertrich, and also in the men's doubles with Marvin Seidel. So he needs to have a good week if Germany is going to challenge and threaten Denmark. Germany, the last nation other than Denmark to win the European Mixed Team Championships. That was back in 2013. Then in women's singles, it's interesting to see what Yvonne Lee can do. She's done well in Denmark Open, Salo Lux, and also in Thailand. She's had a few good breaks in the draw and so on. So that's going to be really interesting. Germany and Denmark in a group here, Group 1, that is, in my opinion, a bit easier than Group 2. So I think they might also be able to save some energy in some of the matches. Here is Scotland, who is unfortunately without Kirsty Gilmore. Scotland, who defeated Spain to reach the final stage of the European Mixed Team Championship here in Finland. I think that's probably the main accomplishment for this Scottish team. They they can challenge Finland, in my opinion, for a third place in this group here. Finland automatically qualified due to being the host here, but some interesting young names in Joachim Oldorf and Nela Nyqvist, who both won bronze medals at the European Junior Championships. Nyqvist only 15 years of age, so bright future perhaps for Finnish badminton, who is sort of captained by Kalle Koljonen, the left-hander who plays league matches in Denmark. Anton Keisti, also playing in Denmark, has revived his career, a strong doubles player, but still mostly Denmark and Germany in this group. So Gille and Seinen with the service here now. The match has gone underway. It's 1-1, and yeah, this is gonna be really interesting because Gille and Seinen, they have played tournaments together also recently. Even though Seinen and Peak won the European Games, they don't play all tournaments together. Selina Peak, she had a nasty injury a couple of years ago, and I think she's planning her tournaments very carefully, and that means that in some tournaments these two players are playing together. They're also playing in the Danish league for the same club, and unfortunately we ran into them with my club just recently and lost that women's doubles match. Really solid defense, Gille and Seinen, and on the other side Antran and Emilie Lefel. Lefel, 32 years of age, and had originally quit after suffering an Achilles injury, but since the Olympic got postponed, she felt that she might have a chance of qualifying anyway, so she came back, and yeah, so don't say that all these postponements are only negative for Lefel. It gave her a chance to shoot for the Olympics one more time. So, just in the early stages of this women's doubles match here. (5-4) for Gille and Seinen. One of the things with the Dutch team is that there's no Jelle Maas, elected to retire during this Corona lockdown. The former bronze medalist in men's doubles at the European Championships. So that's tough times. It's not the only one. It's tough times for many of the players that tournaments gets cancelled and postponed, and it's really difficult to see the end of it. And some players, they might have to make some tough decisions. All the tough decisions are being made for them. Recently saw that Malaysia said goodbye to 5 national team players. The national team would no longer support them, and that was strong players. That was Go Sun Huat and Shewan Lai, who they were actually still in the running for Olympic medals, Olympic qualifications. I'm sorry. and it was Sonia Chia, who's also more or less certain of qualifying in women's singles for Malaysia. So it's not so easy to get everything together for both the players and the associations. Of course, we can just see if we can take a look here with the Malaysian pair. They were not in top 10, but they were 11 on the world ranking. Go Sun Huat and Siwan Lai, and the Malaysian association wanted to go in a different way. They also said that Lai Pei-jing could no longer be part of the national team, and her partner Tang Qianmeng, he said that if she's leaving, then I'm leaving as well. So 3 independent mixed doubles pairs from Malaysia: Chan Peng Song, Goh Liu Ying, the Olympic silver medalist, and Go An Lai, and Tang Qianmeng, and Lai Pei-jing. So I'm thinking, where's the next Malaysian mixed doubles pair? And it's a bit down the list. That's actually Ho Pang Ron and Chi Si, who is number 30 at the moment. So tough times for both players and association here amidst the Corona crisis. So 8-6 in the first game here in the women's doubles. It's a must-win for the Netherlands, and if they succeed, then we're in for a real nail-biter in the last match, the mixed doubles. That would be the decider of the team tie if Gille and Seinen could win this women's doubles. And that would be a match between number 13 and number 17 in the world, Tung Kel and Delphine Delray, up against Selena Peak and Robin Taberling. And that's 2 European pairs who's really doing well at the moment. Tough battle in the mixed doubles for the Olympic qualification spots. Just go back to the list here and see if we can get it here. We can see Marcus Ellis, Lon Smith, number 10, and Chris and Gabby Adcock at 12. And of course, for them, the upcoming tournaments in Switzerland, and it should have been Germany. So right now it's Switzerland where there's Olympic qualification points at stake. We can see Taberling and Peak qualified as number 11, as you have to be in top 8 if you want to have 2 pairs at the Olympics from the same country. Right now, Faisal and Vijaya are in top 8, as well as Jordan and Octavianti, but should they fall just 1 spot to number 9, then they're out of the Olympics, and that would give an extra spot here further down the ranking. And who would that go to then? That's it would probably go to Li Jiehui and Suya Ching. I'm not really sure whether they're playing anymore, but it could also be the Russians, Alimov and Davletova. At least they would have a chance to overtake the Chinese Taipei pair. So Gille and Seinen, they're soldiering on in the women's doubles, and they've reached the interval, and it's the Dutch pair that has a 5-point advantage here. In the other match playing at the moment, Akshirina and Morozova, who lost the first game against Lado and Moore from England. The Russians have now come back and taken the second game 21-12 and are up 15-4 in the decider. So doesn't seem like England will score a consolation point in that women's doubles, at least. Last match there, Calum Hemming and Jesh Pugh up against Alimov and Davletova, so it could be 5-0 for Russia in that match. (12-6) for Gilla and Sain, commanding lead. Excellent play by Cheryl Sain, taking a chance at the net. Not normally the preferred front court player when she plays with Selena Peak. Then she's definitely the playmaker from the back court, and that also shows that for your development as a player, you can sometimes be healthy playing with partners with different playing styles, so that you get to develop all parts of your game and do not become one-sided. Good interception by Deborah Gilla, who's started out better than her brother finished the men's double. Gilla, who lost it together with Ties van der Lek, or should I say that Labar and Julien Maillot won it. They were definitely very, very proactive in their attitude in that men's doubles. Earlier on today, Mark Kaljau sent Netherlands off with a good start after he defeated Toma Popov, and then France won the women's singles through Chi Shuifei, beat 17-year-old Jamie Lawrence, very unexperienced Dutch women's singles player. So there's a second round of matches today, starting at 6 o'clock local time, and the lineups are out there, and Finland is exposing their youngsters, so to speak. Finland is up against Denmark, so it's host nation against former or defending champions, and Joachim Oldorf will start out against Victor Axelsen. What an experience for the young Finn, that match. Denmark has elected to go with Line Kristoffersen in the women's singles, and she's facing 15-year-old Nella Nyqvist. So both bronze medalists from the European Championships are in play, and I think that's a really, really good decision by the Finnish team management. Mads Peter Kolding is playing in men's doubles. He's playing with Anders Skaarup Rasmussen. Not a normal combination, and there could be several reasons for that. It could be to give Kim Astrup a little break. He's been out for a while after the Denmark Open back in October with an elbow injury, and came back, played Thailand, and seems to be okay, but he has a chance to save some of his energy, or his elbow, so to speak, and also get Mads Peter Kolding going in this tournament. Excellent play there by Deborah Gillett backhand kill at the net. 17-11 for Gillett and Seinen. So the rest of the Danish and Finnish team is, I guess, pretty much straightforward. Malon and Ravn in the women's doubles against Mathilda Lindholm and Jenny Nyström, and mixed doubles Jesper Paul and Ina-Lotta Sutarinen up against Matthias Christiansen and Alexandra Boyer. She missed that one. Lefel 18-11, and I haven't really seen anything that suggests that that this should change dramatically. That would, from a Dutch perspective, be really, really good, and then they would have the chance in the mixed doubles. Peek and Seinen up against Tonki Kell and Delphine Delray. You can watch on badmintoneurope.tv, live streaming all matches from the tournament. Excellent service there by Badminton Europe. And the team composition for the last match between Scotland and Germany is pretty much straightforward for Germany. They've Lamsfuss and Hertrich in the mixed doubles, Max Weiskirchen in the men's singles, Yvonne Lee. Women's singles, Lamsfuss Seidel, men's double, and Hertrich and Ostermeier. Kilasu Ostermeier takes the place of Linda Effler, the injured Linda Effler, in the women's doubles. For Scotland, Adam Hall and Julie McPherson plays the mixed doubles. Joshua Apiliga, the youngster, plays Max Weiskirchen in first men's singles, then Rachel Sugden against Yvonne Lee. Christopher Grimley in the men's doubles with Adam Hall. I'm not sure why Alexander Dunn is not playing. I have to say that. I don't know if he's injured or probably injured. It would be my guess here, as Gillett and Seinen takes the first game for the Netherlands, 21-13. Women's doubles, the last match between Scotland and Germany. That's Julie McPherson and Chiara Torrance. So that could also be very, very interesting to see that women's doubles with a scratch pairing from Germany. So just about ready to get the second game going here in Vantaa, Finland. Gillett and Seinen up 21-13, winning the first game, and it's a must-win for the Dutch team. They're down 2-1 in the overall team tie. Lefel and Tran are trying to make a comeback here in the women's doubles, but as it looks now, there's a really, really good chance that the team tie is decided in a thrilling mixed doubles between Robin Tabeling and Selena Peek, who at the All England beat Jiang Siwei and Huang Yachong, and then Tonki Kell and Delphine Delray, who reached the semi-final of the World Tour Finals, as well as the Yonex Thailand Open. So what a match that is. It's about an hour ago since we started this stream, and that means that we'll be locking off for this time, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a like and also a comment if you want, and also give suggestions to improvements on the stream, and then hopefully we'll have the chance to be back again soon. Second session tonight, Denmark against Finland and Germany against Scotland, and the tournament continues on the next 4 days, finals on Saturday. That's all for me from now. Bye for now.